You wouldn't believe what happened tonight. I finally walked away from the woman I once believed I'd spend forever with. For months, I held on, clinging to patience, hoping love would bloom where uncertainty lingered. I tried romance. I tried space. I tried silence. I respected her boundaries, honored her pace. She always said intimacy was her decision. I agreed, but what no one ever tells you is what happens when you wait so long you begin to lose pieces of yourself. We met on a quiet evening at a small art gallery downtown. She was standing alone by a painting, wine glass balance in hand, her gaze fixed on the brushstrokes, though her mind clearly wandered somewhere far beyond the canvas. I said hello. She smiled, and just like that, the energy in the room shifted. It felt like a hinge moment, one of those rare electric collisions in time that split your life into before and after. We talk about everything and nothing. Art, music, that one obscure film everyone lies about having seen. Her laugh wasn't rehearsed. It was real, warm, and effortless. I walked away that night with her number on my phone, and this feeling in my chest I hadn't felt in years. Hope. Our first few dates were magic, not in a fairy tale sense, but in the way anticipation built with every text, every call. She was smart, sharp-witted, layered. I felt like I could tell her anything. We wandered city streets at midnight, shared long conversations over candlelit dinners, spilled secrets over coffee. But there was always a quiet, invisible line between us. A barrier she wouldn't let me cross. She'd been honest from the start. I need time, she told me. Intimacy has to be my decision. I nodded. I admired her courage to speak it aloud. I thought I understood. I'd rushed into things before, watched them ignite fast and burn out even faster. With her, I wanted to move differently. I wanted to honor the weight of what she'd survived. I wanted to be the man she could trust. So I waited. Weeks turned to months. We grew close in every way, except one. We'd cuddle on her couch, her head resting on my chest, the flicker of the TV casting shadows around the room. But when I kissed her, when I tried to let my hand linger a moment longer, she'd gently pull away. Every time, she'd give me a soft smile, whisper, "Not yet," and rest her head back against me. I told myself I could live with that it was temporary, that love was patient, and I needed to be, too, and she was worth the wait. Truly. But something inside me began to shift, slowly at first, like hairline fractures forming under the surface. I stopped initiating anything physical. I waited for her to make the first move, but she never did. I began to feel like a visitor in my own relationship, like someone waiting for permission to exist in the space we were supposed to be building together. My friends started to notice. They asked why I kept holding on. I told them about her past, about her trauma, about how she needed someone who wouldn't pressure her. They nodded politely, but I saw it in their eyes. They thought I was being played. And deep down, maybe I did, too. Still, I stayed. I brought flowers. I sent her thoughtful texts every morning. I memorized her moods, planned dates she didn't even have to ask for. I listened as she vented about work, laughed at her sarcasm, offered advice when she asked. I became her confidant, her safe space, but never her lover. She trusted me with her pain, but not her passion. And slowly, I began to disappear inside the waiting. Every now and then, I would try again, just enough to remind her how much I cared, how much I wanted her. She'd hold my gaze, eyes full of apology. I know, just a little longer. I promise. So I believed her. I kept believing her. Until one night, something in me cracked. We were watching a movie at her place. I reached for her hand, and she pulled away. Not harshly, but just enough to send a familiar sting through my chest. I drove home in silence that night, the hum of the tires louder than the thoughts running through my mind. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, the same question looping through my head like static. Am I asking for too much? Days passed. I threw myself into work. I stopped mentioning her to my friends. Shame crept in, the kind that comes from wanting something so simple, so human, and still feeling denied. Then came the moment everything unraveled. We were sitting on her balcony, The city glowing in the distance, quiet between us like a third presence. I asked if she was okay. She said she was tired. I reached for her hand again. She let me, but her fingers were limp, absent. And in that silence, I saw it all. Every wall she had built, every door she had closed. I asked her, gently, if she saw a future with me. She didn't answer. Her eyes shimmered, but her voice never came. That was when I knew I wasn't the man she was waiting for. Maybe she wasn't waiting for anyone. Maybe she was just holding on because I made her feel safe, not because she wanted to be mine. So I stood up and said the words I've been afraid of for so long. I care about you more than I can explain, but I can't keep waiting for a version of this relationship that may never come. I need to feel chosen, not tolerated. I need more than this, and I deserve more. She didn't argue. She didn't cry or chase after me. She just nodded, the hurt in her eyes reflecting back the pain in mine. And that silence, that stillness, confirmed everything I feared. I walked out into the night, the city air cool on my skin, a strange mixture of grief and freedom in my chest. The hardest part wasn't leaving. It was accepting that love, no matter how deep, isn't always enough. That night, I lay in bed, alone again, but somehow lighter. My phone didn't ring. No texts, no missed calls. And for the first time in months, I didn't wait for one. She never reached out. And neither did I. Of course I missed her. I missed the small things, her laugh, the way she narrated traffic like a sports game, how her presence made even the quiet moments feel full. But I didn't miss the waiting. I didn't miss the questioning. I didn't miss wondering if I mattered. I began to find myself again, reconnected with friends, rediscovered passions I'd put on hold. Slowly, day by day, I stitched myself back together. I learned that love is about mutual risk, not just patience. That your needs don't make you selfish. That it's okay to walk away, even from someone you love, when staying means losing who you are. If you're reading this and wonder whether to keep waiting or finally choose yourself, remember this. You are worthy of being chosen without hesitation. Don't shrink yourself into silence for the sake of someone else's healing. You can love someone and still leave if your heart is being left behind. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't holding on. It's letting go.